It had two very important things for us. One, the way of knowledge, understanding what is Atman and what is the world and the nature of Atman and so on. Another one is Karma Yoga, how to do our action. When can we be doing all our responsibility, still not having tension of having done our jobs? The two, not an ordinary job for Arjuna, it is a matter to fight back of lakhs of soldiers and other kings, his own men. Even having done that, how could he be perfect? Krishna explained. Arjuna in the meantime asked a question. Is there a man who is a sthita prajna, who is not disturbed in a situation like that, who acts in perfect tranquility? He wanted to know about that man, a sthita prajna. Krishna explained in full in 18 shlokas. Such people who are there in every field, not necessarily they are to be sannyasis. Anybody for that matter, I told you, could be like that. Even the smallest road cleaner could be of that height if he can manage his work so well, take life so well. After saying so, we go to the next chapter. It's called Karma Yoga. Karma in Indian context has different meanings. One, simply work. That is the straight meaning of karma. Another one, in second chapter we had a shloka, Neha Abhikramanashu, 40th shloka, Neha Abhikramanashosti Pratyavayo Navidyate Swalpamapyasya Dharmasya Trayate Mahato Bhaya. Whatever good you do will definitely save you from the great danger. Mahato Bhayat, it will save, he said. When he said that, the otherwise is also true. As the good things will come back to us with equal force, all the bad which we do also will come back. So our present life is what we did in the past, we are so and so now. Our future will be what we are doing, this life will decide our future. When a man becomes a perfect human being, then it is called moksha. There won't be any reason to be born once again, because he has completed his journey, he has understood what he is, he has understood what Brahman is, and he has offered all that he did to that cosmic consciousness and ego-free. To continue with this third chapter, Karma Yoga, I usually start with two stories. Number one is story of Kaushika Muni. He was a tapasvi, wanted to realize Atman. It won't happen in a single day. One has to be dedicated for a long time to receive the enlightenment. Kaushika Muni did it. Every day he concentrated on the subject of Atman, Brahman, and so on. Ultimately, one day he was enlightened. Suddenly, he saw that answer has come to him, and he knows what himself is. He was so happy that his effort has given fruit. But in the meantime, the tree under which he was sitting, there was a bird above sitting. It shit on the head of this Kaushika Muni. He got angry. Why did it shit on me, he thought. And just looked at the bird. Bird got burnt and felt it. Instead of feeling for the bird, he became happy that I have got wonderful powers now. My look can burn the people, that's what he thought. And as it was time for him to go to Bhiksha, that is food, whatever one be, whether he is a Swami, whether he is a sannyasi or a yogi, taking food is essential till we are there. So went to Bhiksha. He stood in front of a house and just said, as traditionally said, Bhavati Bhikshantehi. O mother, give me alms. There was no answer from the house. The house was open, he saw that. And he remembered that his capacity now is that he can even burn with his look. Second time he repeated, Bhavati Bhikshantehi. Answer came from inside, from the housewife. Wait for some time. I am giving food to my husband. I am a housewife. That's my dharma. I will come after feeding him. And he waited for some time. After having fed her husband, the pious woman came out, saw that his face was red with anger for waiting so long in front of her house. He simply said, I'm giving you Bhiksha today, but your anger burnt the bird. Any moment of your anger cannot do anything with me, she said. Koshika was surprised. Then there was no mobile, internet and so on. But how could she know that his look burnt a bird? He was surprised. And immediately, he thought his knowledge was complete. He took the Bhiksha and asked the lady, would you teach me the knowledge that you have got? Then the lady said, I'm not the right person to teach you about that knowledge. You can go to the last house, the butcher's house. There is a butcher. He will teach you what you need. Another surprise. How could this lady direct me to that butcher's house? Anyway, he wanted to know the truth of how to know the future like the lady knew. So he went to the butcher's house. Same thing happened. He said what he had to say, Bhavati Bhikshantehi also. Answer came from inside, from that butcher. Wait for some time, I will come. My parents are old, they are to be fed, I am feeding them. Only after that I can come. Waited for some time. This butcher, completing his work, came out and asked, did that lady send you here? He was surprised. What was going on here? The lady knew that I burnt a bird. And she sent me here, and this man knows that she sent me. How could this happen? He asked. And then the butcher said, I'm a butcher. I sell meat. That's my duty. But I have a duty towards my family. My parents are old, unable to do anything by themselves. I feed them every day, do my work sincerely, offer everything that I do at the end of the day at the feet of the God and be relaxed. That's probably why I could say that word. And this story tells us it is not necessary for a man to do lot of tapas towards God. When we know our duty, when we know how to do our duty to the society and to our own people, that can give you this philosophical knowledge and knowledge. That is one story I tell to before we go to this chapter. Another one is also what we do comes back to us. That is our karma. A great officer was there, say an IAS officer, administrative officer. It was a small family of the officer, his wife, and a son, and his father, old father who was very old. All of them were in the same house. And you know, the house of that officer will be very big with good garden and other things. Lot of workers doing work around. This old man, the father of this officer, son did not like to introduce his father as my father to anybody. Not even once he introduced to somebody who came there, this is my father. He couldn't proudly say, this is my father. Anyway, when we get old, we have to depend on the younger ones. It is helpless situation. One can take it very well. So one can be happy if he knows how to take. Because we will have taught our children and they will have known more than what we do. At our young age, we must become children once again. Then we will be happy too. So, he used to sit with the people in the house for his dinner. But age would bring so many disadvantages. He could not take a morsel of food to his mouth. Sometimes it would fall. They thought it was not table manners to have a man pouring all the food that he has got on his dress and other things. A table was arranged in the room where he used to sleep, and their food was served. And there were pews to clean it and other things. The life was going on. And as we already know, whatever is born is going to die one day. Death is sometimes a blessing. When old people die, it's a relief to the children who look after. It's also a relief to the man who lives so long. It should be a happy thing for both. So the man died. And officer, he got him cremated, came back to the house. He threw the bed and the plate that with which he was fed in his room and the cup and which was kept him for drinking water into the dustbin of the municipality. Over. Cleaned the house. Things were over. Within 10-15 minutes, the son of this officer came back, beating the plate with the cup he had in his hand. Father got angry. Dirty fellow, why did you bring that? The boy coolly said, Father, I need to use this cup and plate when you get old. This is what is karma. What we do comes back to us. Lucky you are all, because we have come at least up to the level of try to understand Bhagavad Gita. Whether you fully understand this life or next life doesn't matter. But anyway, we have made a good beginning. So that is the another meaning of karma in our culture, to which we have to go today. We all know Arjuna, Krishna told three things there. One, Jnana Marga, Sankhya, which you already know. This is not me, this is not me, this is not me, mind is not me, senses are not me, hands are not me, brain is not me. I am something different from all the living things here. So that will be the Atman. That is Jnana Marga. And another one is how to do the Karma Marga. In the meantime, he also told as a Kshatriya, it is his dharma to protect people and be a king and rule. So all three things were told in the second chapter. The summary of it is there in your group, and you can listen to the summary once or twice so that your understanding of Bhagavad Gita will be simple. Of course, I usually say I am a primary teacher of Bhagavad Gita. Simple it will be, but you will not be missing anything that is said. So after hearing all these things, even hearing about this Stita Prajna, Arjuna gets a question. So we enter the third chapter. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Ata Trutiyodhyaya Karma Yoga. Karma means now work, and what comes back to us is also karma, which you already know what it is. Jayasi chet karmanaste mata buddhir janardana tatkim karmane gore mam niyojasi Keshava. Arjuna is a great student. A duty of a student, which also Krishna tells in the later part of the Bhagavad Gita. When you get a question, you must not keep quiet, you must ask it. Not to show that teacher doesn't know, but to sincerely to know what is the truth about it. There are two types of question askers which I have seen as a teacher in my life. One set is like this. To make the teacher stand without knowing the answer in the class, that's why some people ask. But a good teacher will say, I don't know the answer. There is nothing wrong in not knowing something at all. I will tell you later is the best answer that he can give. Other one is, sincere students get doubts, it is to be clarified. Both are right. Arjuna is a serious student of Krishna. Jayasi chet karmaste mata buddhit janardana. Here he uses Krishna, Janardana to Krishna. You can watch that. Krishna, you told me Sankhya is greater than yoga, karma yoga. Jayasi chet karmanaste mata buddhit janardana. Krishna, you told me that Jnana Marga is the highest. Then why do you put me to do this horrible work of killing people? Tatkim karmani gore mam. You can also understand whatever your mother tongue could be. Why do you put me? Tatkim karmani gore mam. Why do you put me in this dangerous job of killing people? Niyojasi Keshava. Keshava, why are you putting me to do this dangerous job of killing people? You said earlier, Jnana is the highest. When once becomes a Sthita Prajna, he will be a Jnani, and there is nothing to be done after that. That's what you said. But why do you put me in this dangerous situation? Jayasi chet karmanaste mata buddhir janardana. Janardana, that is the word that Arjuna uses to Krishna. You said Jnana Marga is better than the Karma Marga in the previous talk that you get. And here I think I told you, chapters are only made by Vyasa or other people for us to understand the subject. It is not, Krishna did not say, I have completed Sankhya Yoga, now I am going moving to Karma Yoga. No, it was a continuous talk. For our understanding, Vyasa Maharshi has done them into different chapters. So we must admit that. So when you say Jnana is greater than Karma, Tatkim Karmani Gore Mam Niyojyasi Keshava. Keshava, why are you putting me in this dangerous job of killing people? The question is again interesting. You told me two ways. Both ways can take to the ultimate. And you also said Jnana is the ultimate. Then why are you putting me to do this dangerous job of killing people? Tatkim Karmani Gore Mam Niyojyasi Keshava. You asked me to do this dangerous job. Why do you ask me to do so, Keshava? That's what he asked. I think we can repeat. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha.
Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha.
अथ तृतीयोऽध्यायः
अथ तृतीयोऽध्यायः
कर्मयोगः।
कर्मयोगः।
अर्जुन उवाच
अर्जुन उवाच
जायसि चेत् कर्मणस्ते
त्याजसि चेत् कर्मणस्ते
मता बुद्धिर्जनार्दन
मता बुद्धिर्जनार्दन
तत्किं कर्मणि घोरे मां
तत्किं कर्मणि घोरे मां
नियोजयसि केशव।
नियोजयसि केशव।
जायसि चेत् कर्मणस्ते
त्याजसि चेत् कर्मणस्ते
मता बुद्धिर्जनार्दन
मता बुद्धिर्जनार्दन
तत्किं कर्मणि घोरे मां
तत्किं कर्मणि घोरे मां
नियोजयसि केशव।
नियोजयसि केशव।
Arjuna continues this question. Vyamishrenev vakyena buddhi mohayasi me. How straightforward his questions are. You are confusing me with your mixed words. You have mixed two concepts. When you said jnana, when you said karma, jnana is greater, he said, you mix me and I am confused. Vyamishrenev vakyena means confusing words, contradictory words. Buddhi mohayasi me. You are confusing my buddhi. You are making me not to understand what exactly is the right thing. Vyamishreneva vakyena buddhi mohesi me. Therefore, what should Krishna do? He also tells what he should do. Tadekam modanishitya. Krishna, tell me that one. Tadekam modanishitya. You said two or three. One as jnana, another as kshatriya, another as karma. All the three you said. Tell me that one. Tadekam modanishitya. Tell me one very definitely. Yena shreyo aham apnuyam. That will bring me, that will take me to liberation. That by which I can attain shreyas. That which I can be free. So tell me that one which is suitable for me. If you go on telling this one and that one, I am not in a position to understand. I am intentions. Vyamishreneva vakyena buddhi mohesi me. I think all of you could catch the meaning. By mixing words, you have been confusing my thoughts. Therefore, what Arjuna demands, tadekam vadanishchitya. Tell me one definitely. Tadekam vadanishchitya. Vada means hedu. Say. Tadekam vadanishchitya. Yena shreyo aham apnuya. From which I will have shreyas, you just tell me one way. Don't confuse me. I'm already confused. That's why he said, surrender to Krishna, saying the 7th shloka of the 2nd chapter. You will not forget it at all till the end. What's that? Karpanyadoshopahatas svabhavaha pruchami tvam dharma sammodacheta etreyasya nishitam rohitanme shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. I have become your disciple. I have surrendered to you. Advise me, he had said. When he gave advice, when there is a confusion in the advice, it is the duty of Arjuna to ask, and he asked. You are confusing me with mixed words. Therefore, tell me that one which will bring me to Shreyas, which will enlighten me in the future. Whichever is good for me, tell me that one, he says to Krishna. With that one, Arjuna's questions will be over. You must wait for the answer of Krishna later. Let us repeat. Vyamishreneva vakyena
व्यामिश्रेणेव वाक्येन
buddhim mohayasiva me
बुद्धिं मोहयसीव मे
tadekam vada nischitya
तदेकं वद निश्चित्य
yena shreyoham apnuyam.
येन श्रेयोऽहमाप्नुयाम्
Vyamishreneva vakyena
व्यामिश्रेणेव वाक्येन
buddhim mohayasiva me
बुद्धिं मोहयसीव मे
तदेकं वद निश्चित्य
तदेकं वद निश्चित्य
येन श्रेयोऽहमाप्नुयाम्.
येन श्रेयोऽहमाप्नुयाम्.
So, first two shlokas are questions by Arjuna. Whatever doubt he had, he expressed. His doubt was, when Jnana Marga is the highest, why do you ask me to do this dangerous job of killing people? And in the second one, he says, you confuse me with your words saying about Jnana and Karma. Please tell me that one which will be useful for me, which will be for my betterment. That is what he says. Krishna asked for answer. Therefore, we have come to Bhagavan Vacha. His answers are more wonderful than the questions. Questions probably you felt, oh, what a wonderful question Arjuna could ask to Krishna. Look at the answer of Krishna. Lokasmin dividanushta pura prokta mayanaga jnana yogena sankyanam karma yogena yogina. There is no confusion whatsoever in Bhagavad Gita in any of the situation. For these questions of Arjuna, Krishna answered, there are two ways in this world. Lokesmin dvivida nishta. There are two ways in this world. Pura prokta mayanaga. That I said you previously, anaga is Arjuna. Anaga is a reference to Arjuna by Krishna. There are two ways, recognized way in our culture to move towards the liberation. I told about them earlier. Earlier means in the previous chapter. Jnana yogena sankyanam karma yogena yogina. The first one he said is Jnana yoga. Jnana means Atma Jnana. When one gets an Atma Jnana, he will be a person who will be liberated. Jnana, that is Sankhya. Sankhya means going on analyzing, this is not me, this is not me, mind is not me, ears are not me, hands are not me. What is that I? Ultimately, we think that cosmic consciousness is expressing in me also, that is the self, or that is Atman, that is the Sankhya. And Karma Yogena Yogina. Krishna gave a beautiful advice. Karma Yoga means Karmanyeva Adhikaraste, Neha Vikramanashasti. You have all references in the previous chapter to lead to this. And another thing I said to you is Karma Yoga. Both ways are good. One is not inferior or superior, the other one is not inferior. You have GPS nowadays, so if you want to reach the airport, you will switch on the GPS. It will take you in the nearest way to the airport. There are many ways to go to the airport. It will select the best one. So here also, for us to reach the goal, there are two ways. One Karma Marga, another Dhyana Marga. So there is no difference between the two. That's what Krishna tells Arjuna. Lokesmin dvivida nishta. Arjuna, there are two dedicated ways here. Pura prokta mayanaga, which I told you earlier. Jnana yogena sankyanam. Sankyas will take the way called Jnana yoga. Karma yogena yoginam. Yogis will take the way of doing their karma in the best possible way, to the best of their effort. You also know yoga karma sukaushalam samatvam yoga uchyate. There were two definitions told in the previous chapter which you have understood. Samatvam yoga uchyate, yoga karma sukaushalam. Both ways will lead you to the same goal. That is what Krishna said. Very convincing answer to Arjuna's question. I think we can proceed. Shri Bhagavan Vacha.
Shri Bhagavan Vacha.
Lokesmin dvivida nishta.
Lokesmin dvivida nishta.
Pura prokta maya naga.
Pura prokta maya nagha.
Jnana yogena sankyanam.
Jnana yogena sankhyanam.
Karma yogena yoginam.
कर्मयोगेन योगिनाम्
lokesmin dvida nishta
लोकेऽस्मिन् द्विविधा निष्ठा
pura prokta maya nagha
पुरा प्रोक्ता मया नघ
jnana yogena sankhyanam
ज्ञानयोगेन साङ्ख्यानां
karma yogena yoginam.
कर्मयोगेन योगिनाम्
Anaga is the word used to address Arjuna by Krishna in that shloka. Arjuna, there are two ways to reach the ultimate goal of life. One is Sankhya Jnana Marga, the other one is Karma Marga of the Karma Yogis. And then, Nakarmana Manarambat Naishkarmam Purushoshmate, Nacha Sanyasa Deva, Nacha Sanyasana Deva, Siddhim Samadhikachati. I tell this hundreds of times till you complete your Bhagavad Gita course. If you want a spiritual book with such logical consistency, you can't have anything other than Bhagavad Gita. Nakarmana manarambat naishkarmyam purushot. Naishkarma is that there is a word naishkarma there is in the middle of the shloka. You can underline that. Naishkarma means having done karma, not having the ownership of ego that I did it. I only got it, did it, offered it at the feet of God, finished. That is Naishkarma Siddhi. That will be told many times in Bhagavad Gita. Your feeling of what all I did, that ego itself is a wrong thing according to the concept of Sthita Prajna. Nakarmana manarambat. Without doing karma, one cannot attain the state of Naishkarmya. Naishkarmya means doing everything, not having the feeling that I did it. Offer it at the feet of God and keep quiet. Nacha sanyasana deva siddhim samadhigacchati. One cannot completely do without any work. One ought to do it. There are certain things which we must also know. Whether he is a sannyasi, whether he is a man or a woman, whatever is born, work ought to be done by him or her, or even plants. When you put a seed of paddy in a pot, pour enough water, the work will begin when it begins to sprout. When does it stop work? It grows, brings new leaves, and the paddy begins to come out. And pollination will take place with the wind or the bee and other things. And then from one paddy grain, you will have thousands. One day it will be complete, it dries out. After having produced 5,000 paddies. Karma is there even in plants. Karma is there even with, you cannot sit quiet. Not even for a minute. If you sit quiet, something will go on in our heart. As long as we are alive, our hearts will have to beat. We have to take our breath. These are also karma that we are to do. That happens by themselves, but we think we do it. I give an interesting example. When I mentioned this, now you have to take breath inside yourself and leave it out yourself. You are aware of it. If not, who did it? It goes on by itself. You never know that you are breathing all this life. It went on, went on, went on. It will go on till we are there. So here he is saying, a man cannot become a Nishkarmya, have a Nishkarmya Siddhi, that is what is called later, without doing work. Whatever the position of a man, without doing work, he will never attain the status of a sannyasi. Renunciation will not come. So he said, a person does not gain the state of actionlessness, Naishkarmya Siddhi. That is the word that you have to underline there. Naishkarmyam is there in the middle of the first sentence, first line. Actionlessness by non-performance action, nor does the person attain success out of mere renunciation of sannyasa. You cannot have success by just renunciation of not doing any work. It is impossible. That is what Krishna says. You can't be without doing work as long as we are alive. When once the life stops, work also stops. Till the end, one ought to do our own work. It will change from childhood. Works in the childhood are different, works in the youth are different, grown-ups are different, old age people different. One ought to be doing his duties to the society, to the family, to himself, ought to go on. It cannot be stopped. Even a sannyasi will have to do that. That is what Krishna is telling to Arjuna. Karma is essential. I think we can repeat. Na karmana manarambhat
न कर्मणाम् अनारम्भात्
naishkarmyam purushošnute
नैष्कर्यं पुरुषोऽश्नुते
na cha sannyasana deva
न च सन्न्यसनादेव
siddhim samadhigacchati
सिद्धिं समधिगच्छति
na karmana manarambhat
न कर्मणाम् अनारम्भात्
naishkarmyam purushošnute
नैष्कर्यं पुरुषोऽश्नुते
na cha sannyasana deva
न च सन्न्यसनादेव
siddhim samadhigacchati.
सिद्धिं समधिगच्छति.
Without starting karma, you cannot attain naishkarmya. Na karmanam anarambhat. Without starting the karma, you cannot attain naishkarma, or Purusha cannot attain naishkarma. And nacha sannyasa. If you don't want to do anything, there will be no siddhi at all. That is what he said to Arjuna and to us. We will go to this one. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtatyakaram krut karyate havashak karma sarva prakriti jayatgunai. One of the greatest which you have to underline. Krishna tells, whatever is born ought to be doing work every second of its life. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtatyakaram krut. Not even a kshana, that is the smallest countable time. You can be actionless. You ought to be doing things every minute, every second, every day, till that. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtatyakaram krut. Not even one fraction of a second you can be without doing work. Karyate havashak karma sarva prakriti jayatgunai. Everybody does this work, one or the other, by the very nature of beings. Prakriti jayatgunai. There are three nature which we have been told. Traigunya Vishya Veda, we were told in the second chapter. There I mentioned you of three gunas. Sattva guna, Rajo guna, Tamo guna, the three gunas. Gunas are there in us and they will make us work. Prakriti Jayatgunai, by nature we ought to be working. Maybe you do some good work, maybe you do some bad work. It's a mixed bag. All will be there. But you cannot be doing without work. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtatyakaram. Indeed, no one ever remains for even a second without performing action. No, impossible to be without. We can also try to sit closing our eyes, whether we can do it. Try. Some thought will come. When you want that shouldn't come, another thing will come. So there is a great war in the mind itself when we try to sit without thinking. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtatyakaram. This is a great shloka which you have to understand. Nobody, no living thing can be without doing work for a second. Karyate havashak karma. Essentially, they do the work. Compulsorily, they do avashak karma. Compulsorily, they do the work. Sarva prakriti jayir gunayi. By the very nature, you ought to be doing work. So he tells Arjuna, there is no condition as workless condition. From that sense, even a sannyasi cannot be without doing karma. His way of doing karma is different, which we will show later. So, Jnanamargi, he who is understanding Atman and Brahman and so on, will also do his karma according to the prakriti that is there in him. Karma prakriti jair gunaihi. The prakriti in us, the nature in us will make us work. Involuntarily, you will be working sometimes as you do the breathing, as the heart beating. That's happening by itself. We are not doing anything. Our job is only to eat. Digestion will go on by itself. When there is an error in digestion, we need to go to the doctor. Or we must find a way, how can I digest whatever I have eaten. But you ought to be doing work. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu dishtatya karma. No one ever remains for even a second without performing action, because everyone is forced to perform action by the three gunas in each one of us. Sattva guna, rajoguna, tamoguna, they will make us work every second. We can't be doing without anything at all. This is a perfect conclusion given by Krishna to us. Even a sannyasi, sometimes we feel they are great, they don't take medicine because, and I have seen all the disorders that we have, say sugar, BP, other problems with kidney and all, body diseases, all of them have. However much they look that they are free, you don't see them going to the doctor and taking medicine. But doctors go to their mutts and advise them medicine for them. So you can ask people, rarely there are people who do not take medicine. I have seen. Is there anyone here? You can lift your hand. Not even taken even a single tablet for headache. Is there one? Anyone? Usually we are not. Sometimes we will be having disorder. It is there for all. That's what Krishna is saying. Don't be under the impression Krishna had no pains in his body. Rama had no pains in his body. He did have. And even our great saint Ramakrishna, he had cancer before he died. All bodily diseases will be there. They will also take medicine as we do. But we are given a picture that they are without those things. That somewhere they want to hide it. Let them hide it. We don't have anything to say for that. But everybody will have to work according to his three gunas of prakriti. Three gunas of prakriti, which Krishna tells Arjuna and to us. I think we can repeat. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi
Nahi kachit kshanamapi
jatu tishtatya karmakrat
jatu tishtatya karmakrit
karyate havashak karma
karyate shavashya karma
sarva prakriti jayir gunaihi
sarva prakriti jair gunai
nahi kaschit kshanamapi
nahi kachit kshanamapi
jatu tishtatya karmakrat
jatu tishtatya karmakrit
karyate havashak karma
karyate havashya karma
sarva prakriti jayir gunaihi.
sarva prakriti jair gunai.
I think I have made this shloka very clear. Not even a second. You can be doing, you can sit without doing anything. The action will go on according to the prakriti of each of the beings, each of the live things, including human beings, animals, and plants. All of them, whatever is having life, ought to work. That is the principle which Krishna is telling. Karmendriyani samyamya, we go to the next shloka. Karmendriyani samyamya ya aste manasasmaran indriyarthan numodatma mityacharas sauchate. Another great shloka. If you control your karmendriyas, which you already know, eyes, nose, tongue, skin, what's the other one left? Ears, 5, and mind. You control them. But you think of the things of your life in your mind. Then that man is called a hypocrite. Mithyachara is a hypocrite. You can underline that one, that word in the second line. Mithyachara sauchate. I usually give the example of 2 boys in a college. One boy said, let's go to the picture to his friend. Then the first boy said, no, I am not coming to the class. For me, class is important. I'm not coming with you to the film theater today. The first boy who said, let's go to the film, goes to the film. And he enjoys the film. Missing his friend in the class, the boy who did not go was thinking that his friend might be enjoying the beauty of the film. Garden, dance, and so many things he might have been enjoying and so on. He thought, who is a better person now? This boy was sitting in the class, was in the film. That boy was in the film, forgetting the class, he can recover what he had to study the next time. But this is hypocrisy. Do wherever you are, that is what Krishna tells. Karmendriyani samyamya, controlling all organs of action. Yaste manasasmaran. If you think of some desire in your own mind, that would satisfy our senses. Say, for example, eating. Supposing you have a desire to eat jalebi. Did I tell you the jalebi story in this class?
No.
Brahmananda tells it in his Bhagavad Gita. Do any of you remember I told you something about jalebi in the class? You can say no with shaking. Oh, interesting. So a man was in Rishikesh. The people go there to do tapas. But there was a sannyasi, and there are many charity houses in Rishikesh where they feed the sannyasis. They give money because it's a great job to look after those people. They give money to the charity trusts, and they will feed. Once and in their food, they get all delicious items. Somebody wants to give all of them, Mysore Pak gives. Somebody wants to give them jalebi with chapati, they would give, and so on and so forth. They would get many delicious things. But there was one sannyasi who was a fan of jalebis. Some days he used to get jalebi, but he was always remembering jalebi in his mind. When he sat for meditation, instead of picture of God in his mind, he would get the picture of jalebis. He did not know how to overcome this problem of jalebi. Then he thought of an interesting way. He went to a hotel, went to the counter, brought the plate of jalebis, put in front of him on the table, and began to eat one after another. And every hotel, I am told, will have some bouncers. As long as they are good, they are good. When you get arrogant, they have got more arrogance than you are. They are there to bounce you, beat you, and kick you out of the hotel. So when the bouncers came and began to beat the sannyasi, he went on asking, Are the jalebis sufficient till you want it? He was asking to his own mind. Are the jalebis sufficient? Do you still want jalebi? That he was asking for himself. So this is a hypocrite. Thinks of something, does something else. When you are doing something, you must be doing that. No question of thinking other thing. That's a great lesson Krishna tells Arjuna. Don't be a hypocrite. Most of the people who are sannyasis lost the way and get caught for some of the mistakes are hypocrites like this. We can see in every religion they are there. It's not only for ours. Krishna's warning is don't be a hypocrite. If you have a desire, rightfully satisfy the desire. If you have a desire to eat jalebi, you cannot make a show to the world that I have a desire but I don't eat. You are a hypocrite. Eat one and say jalebi is only this much. All other desires of ours can be understood this way. Krishna says, Mityacharasya uchyate. That man is called a hypocrite who thinks of worldly joys but doesn't try in legal means to satisfy them. Krishna's advice is satisfy your desires with legal means. Legal means dharma. Dharma is not something very great from the sky. Living according to the law is dharma. We live in India, we live according to our constitution, that is our dharma. And there is also a spiritual constitution for us that is already in your hands. Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is a spiritual constitution to each one of us. How should I live? According to our tradition. How can I have a God realization even up to the last stages, even I can proceed in that direction is what is told to us in Bhagavad Gita. Karmendriyani samyamya, controlling all actions of karma. Aste manasa smaran, one who desires things in his own mind. Indriyarthan vimodatma, that person is a deluded person. Mithyachara sauchyate. He is called a hypocrite. He is called a hypocrite. There is one proverb in Kannada. Helod Veda hakod gala. Some of you may know it. So you speak Veda, but you take the hook to catch the fish. So that way, Krishna says, don't be like that. So when you have a desire, find the right means to satisfy it, legal means to satisfy it. And then you are not a hypocrite. And you can overcome that desire later. When that man ate jalebi and got beaten, he never got the dream of jalebi once again in his. He could concentrate on God and he got the God realization. So that is what the advice of Krishna to each one of us. Let us underline that also. Hypocrite, that shloka, 6th shloka. Let's repeat. Karmendriyani samyamya.
Karmendriyani samyamya.
Ya aste manasa smaran.
Ya aste manasa smaran.
Indriyarthan vimodhatma.
Indriyardhan vimodhatma.
Mityacharasya uchyate.
Mityacharasya uchyate.
Karmendriyani samyamya.
Karmendriyani samyamya.
Ya aste manasa smaran.
Ya aste manasa smaran.
Indriyarthan vimodhatma.
Indriyardhan vimodhatma.
Mityacharasya uchyate.
Mityacharasya uchyate.
Do the prayer, sir.